Hello, everybody. Welcome to Just Roll It Already. I'm your host, Daryl.
I'm John.
And I'm guest star Matt.
And the podcast that we always know and love about bettering role-playing and improving gaming. So, today we are doing our Shop Talk segment, and we thought that the best part, that we kind of like kicked around a little bit earlier and kind of always goes through people's mind, is recycling content.
Yeah, we know that where you can get your content, like it's like obviously books, movies. We've already discussed all of the areas of good content.
But what about your original ideas that you wish to start over again or rehash for a game, both player and GM?
Not only that is how do you recycle content. I think that's what we should discuss.
Yeah. And you've already emphasized on that enough.
Yeah, I'm a big stickler when it comes to.
You're just a stickler.
Well, everything. Yeah, sure. But no.
There is no cheese on these tacos!
Dude, if there's no cheese, what happens? I punch somebody.
Yes, you do.
Somebody seriously loses an eye.
We will go in to Taco Bell and make such a scene.
They will give you a meal for free.
They will, or we'll be kicked out of there by the police.
I mean, hey, win-win, right?
Yeah.
Win-win. You shut down a business and cause the unemployment rate to go up, or you get a taco.
So, how does one recycle content?
Properly,
Yeah, properly.
Well,
Let's focus on the players first, because a lot of people, some people I know some people who recycle too much with their characters. Mainly, like previous players I've played with, they don't, like you say, okay, I say Werewolf the Apocalypse. They bring out the same werewolf, same story, same attitude, same everything, every single game.
He just has differently colored paints.
No.
No, well, wow.
Like carbon
he
copy.
doesn't even
Like literally
change
He doesn't
pants.
even own a different pair of pants.
No,
Wow.
he's literally right then and there, and you cannot change a single thing
That
about it.
poor
And it's
werewolf.
exactly the same thing. Or in D&D, you play the same characters again and again. But we're not talking about a restart of a character. We're talking about a cross-game jump.
Yeah.
Now, that's just something we're talking about. It's easy to rehash a character. You dust him off, you lower his level, you raise his level, you give him different gear, and you change the color of his hair. You friggin' do.
You know,
Now-
Super Saiyan level 1.
Yeah.
Level 2.
Let's say that you decide to take a Forgotten Realms drow that you play, like a cleric of whatever, and a drow elf cleric of Palor, which is the biggest oxymoron in the world, and you suddenly decide after the game was done, like, I really loved how this character played. I loved how they went everywhere. I loved their personality, their mentality, the way they rationalize things, everything about them. I love them. And you learn that you're playing, let's say, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you pull that character from there and transfer him to over there?
Well, I mean, I think you could go about that two different ways. You can, like I know some people, instead of actually rehashing a character, they only play one character. It's just that one particular character seems to switch bodies a lot.
Yeah. That's the easy way to go.
Yeah. So, I mean, you could do something like that, which is really the easy. So you can pretty much just play your drow as Miraluka, though. So, you know.
It could work.
They're born in darkness.
Well, Bone in the Dark, we can't even see the darkness.
We don't even know if it's day or night. Somebody says, look at that color. Oh, wait, you can't.
Well, actually, they can see color through the Force.
Yeah. Or
You're
if
mind
you-
blown yet? There you go.
Or if if your parents happen to be a human and a Miraluka and they bang, you have a chance to have both or none. So, boons and boons, you know. But
it's risky.
yeah, but I mean, like, you could do something like that, or you can literally go through and try and, all right, what's the drow race in Star Wars?
How would I go about making the same exact kind of character I like to play, but make them feel like the spirit is there, but the mentality is different?
I think that the spirit and mentality are one and the same characters. It's a matter of mechanics
Yeah.
that have to be different when it comes to cross system play.
Yeah, like, you know, Star Wars can't cast
Obviously.
a fireball.
No, you can't cast Fireball in Star Wars, although there is an ant under the wallet. But moving on.
Okay.
His murderous intent has just increased by 20%.
Yeah, I do not like ants. They get everywhere. They steal food. All of this basically melts. No, but like, aside from races, you have just your, again, magic. Like, it doesn't exist in Star Wars, but you could also argue that the Force is some sort of mystical power. a more legitimate way of, I don't want to say legitimate, a more effective way of having crossover characters is make sure that you can have a different gamut of like more than one character to begin with. So you've got your fighter archetype, which is your personal how you play a fighter, your rogue archetype, and then you have your intellectual archetype. Because those are really the three. Yeah. There's the skill-based person, the combat-based person, and the knowledge-based person. Yeah. Knowledge, not even necessarily magic, just knowledge. So you pick your archetype, and then you have your mindsets for those characters, and you just put them in it. Like, you can just put them in the setting. You don't have to necessarily have every number crunched, every stat built, because they're going to change from system to system. You just need to have your character's mindset ready. And that's honestly that's the proper way to recycle content of any kind, especially when you're doing it across system.
Yeah, I mean, some people would argue like you can't do it in every setting or every system. Well, you technically can, but like there's a difference between imposing the personality and then kind of doing the mechanics of it, which is a little more tricksy. Yeah. Because if you take something as complicated as Anima or Eclipse Phase, GURPS, Rift. Oh, yeah. Forbid Rift.
Yeah.
Rifts, not Rift. I'm sorry.
Rifts. Yeah. Try to do it in those really strange things. Traveler, all those crazy stuff.
I will get a Rifts book. And we will pay Rifts. But we will pay Rifts. The price.
Yeah, the price of playing that book.
Because it is literally the definition of cross-dimensional everything. Because rifts open up. So rifts open up. You have like superheroes from an alternate timeline of Earth, and dragons, and Jedi, and freaking
cool. The Drow Palor.
The Drow Palor.
The one Drow that comes through the entire rest is for Palor.
No, because he immediately gets stomped by a T-Rex.
Yeah, well, it's Strizzit's cousin.
And the people who are like the vanguard of humanity, I believe they're called the Coalition. I cannot remember. It's been a long time. Do not flame me on the forums or on the comments.
Yeah, from the coalition.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're called the
Flame Coalition.
Yeah,
light that torch.
From the coalition. How may I help you?
They are literally like the Nazis.
Oh, I know. I expected someone with the name the coalition.
Think Combine.
I mean,
they do not like anything non-human because they believe they're defenders of humanity. They have giant mech tanks and glitter boys, which are like.
Wow, that's.
They're called Glitter Boys.
They're called Glitter Boys.
That's a weird name.
It is a weird name, but it was written in the 1980s.
That's a weird name.
It's called the Glitter Boy. It is a giant mech. You think Gurren Lagann?
But more sparkly.
Really? I expected it.
But with lasers.
I expected a Glitter Boy.
That's why it's called the Glitter Boy. Also, they stay physically. Well, not quite stealth. It's like an active.
Yeah, but yeah, like something like that would be like just the best system to run a carbon copy of another.
And there's some systems that, like Rifts, focuses on cross games. You can play your characters. Like, alright, one of them we talked about, Silvervine, the World of Cyrus.
Yeah.
Where you can play anything. You can make anything happen. You can play your frickin' Toad. You can play
Slappy.
You can play whatever character you got out in the past. I can play any character from my Dark Horrors.
Oh, good old Slappy. Why Slappy?
Yeah. Did he have a cousin named Slippy?
No. He was a frog.
He was the only tadpole in his family.
Yeah, I was a frog man in Vietnam.
Was murdered. Oh, that's right, the Vietnam frog.
Yep. Carried a bottle of old log whiskey and shotgun.
Yeah.
A bandit big bore.
Yeah. Okay. So moving
and I was
from
also the size of a frog. With giant man arms.
Oh, like an earthworm Jim Frog.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Yes, moving forward to other topics before we run out of time for this segment, is now for the Game Masters. So, when you're doing it for the Game Masters, there's a little bit more you can finagle with. I mean, you can take a setting that you've done before, a plot you've done before, NPCs you've done before, and figuring out how to rehash them without making it look like or feel like you're just doing a lazy job. That's a little more work because there's a lot more content to deal with. The person masterful of doing it, and he's not here right now because we can't get a hold of him. Jeremiah, if you're watching, please come back to us.
For the love of God, you need to get off your hiatus.
Yes, please.
He went on a hiatus unbeknownst to us, so that is why.
He got a job.
Oh, he did.
Yes, good for him. Everyone congratulates Jeremiah if you ever find him. Now, before we get off topic again, is that he's
he has the perfect effect. Like he has the perfect persistent world.
Yeah.
And all he does is he changes the system, and all it is like literally, if you had a machine and gears, all he does is replace one set of standard gears with metric.
Yeah.
That's literally what it's like to him.
Yeah. Yes. Which, honestly, I think is really awesome, and especially something really important with a DM who has a persistent world.
That he actually did even persist from system to system.
Yeah.
World of Darkness, he has he calls it the Officer Jenny effect or Nurse Joy effect.
Yeah.
If we're going to reference Pokemon, because they're always look the same, they're all related, and they're all the same age, regardless from one place to another.
Yeah.
He has that shtick and that trope and that joke in every one of his games.
And it's never really boring or bad to look at. Like he does it very well.
Well, he goes from like a crazy one to a funny one to a strange one to a murder psychopath and all these other things. But they all may look the same, but they're all different. And he just he likes to kick around that thing. But that's him using one of his tropes and his shticks that he transcends from one game to the other. If we did it from like, if he runs any game, and if you ever play with this guy, you'll be entertained.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. It's funny. And he has these very interesting lores, and he throws the conventional lore out the window, stomps on it, and sets it on fire.
Because he does enjoy being brutal, though.
But I mean, you know...
But not like he goes out the game brutal.
No, it's more on the lines of, like, this game's going to be hard, but I'm going to be fair about it.
Yeah.
But it's like, this shit is serious. You go over and attack that dragon, I'm going to let you attack that dragon.
You're just going to die.
Yeah. But back to, like, how to do it, you know, properly... I think one of the ways that was really kind of, you know, the evil genius way to do it is you get the basic character, you know, you mess with him a little bit from, you know, game to game. But the one thing that I really liked about it was he had the charts, and it was whatever he decided to roll. You know,
his rolling charts.
Yeah, his rolling charts. So, like, 1 to 10 would be a quest, 2 to a billion would be something else, or treasure.
This NPC of this gender.
Yes, exactly. This NPC of this gender.
With this personality type, and with this kind of day on the day of this day of the week.
Yeah, and you know, what kind of loot he's holding if he has a quest,
the
or
guy
if he's going to be an ass.
The guy knows how to make a chart. The guy knows how to make a random chart. And that's the thing that you got to sometimes think.
Charts McGee.
He can take the ideas that he always does. He has his little methods that work for him. I have my methods that work for me, though I do enjoy trying new things, because I'm at that mad scientist phase of my life in gaming.
You're just mad.
If I could force my eye to twitch, I just made it twitch on camera right now, but I can't. Yeah, I'm not you, John. Or Matt.
Yeah, but I will say, like, when I've been working on my little, trying to get a persistent universe in my game, and I ran a little bit with another one of my friends, and one of our friends, Anthony and Jeremiah. We had to cut it short, so I really like what I did with their characters and the specific setup I had. And I was, unfortunately, we couldn't continue, but I was figuring out a way to incorporate what they did. And while not necessarily rehash it, or, you know, copy it for the next, you know, version.
Right.
At least bring what they did back into the fold.
Like what Jer does.
Yeah.
What he does.
Like lore, living lore.
Yeah, living lore and stuff like that. So, you know, it's not necessarily totally rehashing the content, even though I was thinking about doing that too.
One thing I do sometimes that I can consider rehashing is sometimes opening styles for games. Some games I will pull a safe route, I call it. There's techniques that I would do that I developed over time for a game to start.
Mm.
They may be carbon copy kind of thing. It's not like starting a tavern. It's a basic story structure to actually get people together. From then, if people are together, whether they stay together or not is up to them. My job to get them together and for them to decide to get together is done. But that is what I usually do. And that's the only thing I can think of that I do that goes like beyond from one game to the other. I very rarely play the same character again.
So I think I'm not going to say the most proper, but the most established, tried and true method of, as we've discussed several times over here from our experiences, is that you, God, my nose is all stuffed up. Yes.
Get more hot sauce in you.
Yeah, I know, right? Hot sauce is the only cure.
Like a little ivy drip in his nose.
I gotta do a line on Cholula, man. Come on.
Oh god, now I forgot what I was saying.
You were talking about
the tried and true method of rehashing your content is to have a living world.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way.
Now that is only really true for single systems. If we go back to multi-system, multi-universe theory or multi-theory, yeah, or I guess string theory. There you go.
Multi-genre.
You really can't have necessarily the same living lore in like from D&D to Star Wars.
Yeah, or Star Wars to like World of Darkness or something like that.
And it's gonna fall back to the character personality types, whether they be just quirks. Because usually most times it'll be DM will have quirks from their characters that just constantly reappear, and that can give you like some sort of diverse role play. It can give something familiar to players to interact with.
Yeah.
Which is key to having them driven to attach to the stories. They are familiar with it. You don't want to get them fall into the trap of, oh, this is this, and they kind of start thinking in D&D terms now. When you're obviously in Star Wars, you have to either really focus on like, oh, it's just a quirk. It's not really, and then it's like we'll just segue into it.
Yeah, it's like how do you tell the good guy?
Yeah.
You know? I think we mentioned this like way back long ago, but how do you make players trust a certain character?
Familiarity.
Familiarity. So if you always have that one nice old man character who always talks like this,
and if you attack him, he just goes
travelers.
down. Yeah, he just goes
down.
That's
why I was going to give you cookies.
Cookies.
He dies, and then you no longer have that friend in the world.
Yeah.
Now how do you feel?
Alone and afraid. Like you should in World of Darkness.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think that's going to cover up for the Slaughtering Old Man for Cookies part.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for Let's Look At.
Among other things.
Among other things.
Alright.
One thing at a time, people. We can only drag out content for so long, so you guys can leave us alone.
No, not really. Stay.
Keep bothering.
Keep bothering us. No, seriously.
Find John on Facebook. Poke him constantly.
You can't find me on Facebook.
I wish we could. Anyways.
Bye.
Bye.